How to stop a puppy from biting your hands when you go to pet them. I have a video from Belle and Fay, and Belle thinks that Fay's hand is a chew toy and just reaches up and grabs Fay's hand. Fay is attempting to pet Belle. As she does, Belle reaches up and bites Fay's fingers. So how do we stop the biting? 3 ways that you can do it. First way, take your Kong. It has some food in it. You're going to start to pet. Now we're not going to have the Kong in the next 2 exercises, and we're going to pet as Nikki licks the food from her Kong. We can go up over her neck, hold the Kong in that hand, and see if you can touch on this side. Touch on the top of the head. Touch an ear. Lift the ears. If you have a puppy who even won't let you do this, then we'll talk about that at the end of this video. Belle is sitting nicely, licking the Kong as Fay is petting her. We're just not going to walk around with Kongs in our hands all the time, and we're not going to be feeding our dog every time we want to pet them. Here's what we do. We ask our dog to look at a treat as we are trying to pet them. You take a treat in your hand and you let your dog focus on it. And when your dog focuses on the treat, you just bring your hand just close. When your dog does not look away from the treat, you're going to feed your dog the treat. There's the treat. My hand is here. And I'm going to feed. Haven't touched her yet. We're letting her know that there's the treat, there's the hand, there it is. Once again, there's the treat, there's the hand touching her, and she gets fed. So she's starting to focus on my hand and that has the treat and not on the hand that I'm petting her with. So there's the treat. Good. Sometimes it's easier for a dog if they look forward and the hand comes in from the side. Good. And you feed. And just look at the treat. And then she gets it. And you can touch an ear. Okay. Your hand can come over top of their head. You're telling your puppy that you can pet them. Belle is eating a treat from Frank's hand as Frank pets her with the other hand. This keeps Belle's mouth occupied so as not to bite his hand as he pets her. You're petting, you're touching, you're going over them, and you're feeding. Your puppy getting used to you touching their ears. Good. Oh. But you can help any dog. It doesn't have to be just a puppy. You adopt a dog, you can teach them to let you handle them, be with them, and pet them. So step 2, that you want her to look actually away from the treat and at your eyes as you are petting. The treat's here. I'm touching her. And as she looks, yes. Now if your dog knows look, then you can say that to them. If they don't know, you can always make a little smooshy sound. There's your treat. Yes. And now Nikki is looking at me. So we've got the treat. Yes. And I've got my hands on Nikki's treat. I'm touching her. Yes. And Nikki's looking at my eyes. Look at the video how to teach dog look, which I'll post above. You can also, if you have a puppy, we have the how-to puppy playlist, which talks about a number of videos on there that you might enjoy. You certainly want to be able to pet your dog without having to hold treats in your hand. So what we're going to do is we'll put the treat out further, and we're waiting for Nikki to look at us. I'm saying yes to mark it. Going to put the treat out. I'm going to pet her. Yes. And every time she looks at me, I'm going to feed her. So we're petting. This time the treat's in my pocket and waiting for her to glance up at me. Yes. And then I'm going to take the treat out of my pocket and feed her. So now the treat isn't even visible, and we're able to pet her longer. It helps them to understand that your hands are good. The treat has now disappeared. You're only feeding occasionally, and your dog is getting more comfortable. We can also put my hand behind my back so she doesn't even have the pocket to look at. Yes. If you have a puppy that's really unsure and doesn't want your hand to be near them, then you can back up a little bit and let them come to you and pet them. You can stand up and you move backwards. You're going to just put your hand gently, first under their chin and then on top as you feed them. I've got a treat in my hand and I'm going to feed, and I'm going to have my other hand go underneath. I'm going to take a step back. My dog's going to come into me and I'm going to pet them. So your dog is walking into you to be petted. So that can help a dog who's unsure and is backing away. To pet your dog in a way that maybe you wouldn't want to, and you're just going to rough them up a little bit, because every time that you go rough with your hands, it's more stimulating, and you want to calm your puppy down. So the strokes that you want are long, nice, even strokes down over their back. But there's going to be some people, they're going to walk up to your dog and they're going to tap it on the head before you get a chance to tell them, please don't do that. Then they're going to tap it on the head. So you want to practice these exercises too, so that the tap on the head might mean 2 treats instead of 1. We try to give you positive, effective training tips to help you train your dog. Please don't forget, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and you'll receive all the episodes. Bye from Joyce and Nikki at Diamond Dog Training.